Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from Skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. Happy Friday.
Welcome back to our Top 5 Friday of Ski Industry News videos. Forgive me for being absent in the last...
It feels like a long time.
Three weeks of Top 5?
I think you've missed 3.
At least.
Because we didn't do one week, and me and Matt did 2.
You've done 2.
So I think it's been a month.
I've missed 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I beg your forgiveness. Yeah, I think I haven't sat here since we've released the ski test. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So yeah, I hope everyone's really enjoying the ski test. I think the rollout was a little different this year. We're still kind of getting some of the videos out. Basically, it was just a bigger project this year, kind of putting all those videos together.
Yeah.
All 4K. That was
right.
kind of that slowed down the process quite a bit. And what I'm going to do is, God, there aren't many more. And what I decided to do this weekend is there's going to be actually like 20 more ski test videos going out this weekend, I think.
It seems like such a small amount.
And
just 20.
Yeah, right, only 20. And I've got them scheduled to go out kind of every hour or so throughout the weekend. So hopefully among those you find some that are interesting to you. And then obviously we kicked off our comparison series this week. Here's a little teaser for next week's comparison. Just going straight to the big skis.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of feedback based off of asking people what they wanted to see next.
But I bet a lot of people didn't make it to the 1 hour 53 minute mark in the video when I asked that question.
Well, we had one vote for this.
Great.
And then the only other vote we have is for the one that's going to be after this.
Oh, I don't even know what's after this.
Yeah.
What's after this?
I don't know. Can I tell you?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be able to be like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do
I've been prepping the mid-80.
Cool.
So going back
I did see a
to
comment in
the
there
other side,
asking for mid-80.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to do it.
Just covering them all.
So pending any unforeseen circumstances, you'll see this next week, which is 110-ish. I think we're what, 107 to 115?
We took out the 107,
108?
so now 108 to 115.
Yep. So that'll be fun. This is an interesting category of skis and like more differences than you might expect.
Totally.
When you get up to this range. And then I always really like that mid-80 category, so look out for that too. And I don't think I've got anything else unless you've got anything else, and then we'll get right into the news.
No, nothing.
Cool. I'm excited to get to edits of the week. This is a big week for edits.
Yes.
But we do have some stuff we have to discuss before we get there, Bob.
I'm excited.
Topic number 1, Dan Egan has been named the new general manager of Tenney Mountain in New Hampshire. And important to know here, get some historical context. Dan Egan has already been the general manager of Tenney Mountain. He was from 2002 to 2004. I don't know if that was immediately before his long-term position with Sugarbush, but it certainly predated it.
It seemed like he was at Sugarbush for a long time.
Yeah, I think over 10 years.
Yeah.
So anyways, you may or may not know that Dan Egan is no longer associated with Sugarbush Resort. And yeah, he has been named the new general manager of Tenney Mountain. Tenney has not operated since 2010, although they did, I guess that sentence wasn't technically true because they did reopen this past season in February of 2023, and they are planning on a full season for 2023-24 with some significant new investment and Dan Egan kind of holding the reins as general manager, which... what a great person to run a ski resort.
Yeah, and like, you know, when I grew up skiing at Loon, Tenney was still like a viable option for a lot of skiers. Like, it's a good spot.
Have you skied there?
No.
Okay.
No, not when I could ski at Loon.
I don't know. Maybe Tenney's better. I don't...
But it's a good spot. Like, it's, you know, for southern New Hampshire, like, you know, it's closer than Watervale, Loon, stuff like that.
Is it on the same, like, I-93 corridor?
Yeah, it's like the Plymouth exit, and then it's like...
Oh, so not that much closer, but a little bit closer.
Yeah, it's like 2 exits before Waterville. So it's a good, I mean, it's a good location. Like the college is right there, like Holderness is right there.
How far is like Manchester from there?
maybe an hour.
Can't
you
be
know, it's
far.
probably 40 minutes from Concord.
Right.
So
Great
it's
spot.
Yeah, it's a good spot, and it's like a decent sized hill, like 1600 vertical, like fall line skiing. Like it's got some good
1600
pluses.
vertical is substantial.
For like a small mountain, yeah.
Substantial for any mountain.
Yeah. And I think that like one of their lifts is like top to bottom, so they're, you know, it's fully accessible.
It's practically the Forerunner quad.
I know, right? You gotta make a trip to Tenney.
Yeah, I'd love to. Let's do it. So anyways, that'll be really cool. And they did kind of have some kind of insights into their 2, 5, 10-year plans, and you're going to see a lot of typical shoulder season and summer attractions.
Your biking, your disc golfing, your zip lines,
Yeah.
your bungee trampolines,
mountain coaster.
mountain coaster.
I don't know if that was listed, but I feel like there's just like there's like a starter pack for
your
I
ropes
want to
course.
be a year-round resort.
Yeah.
You just pick like there might as well be an organization that's like, here's your 12 options, just pick 7.
Yeah.
And we'll make you a really cool year-round resort.
Yep. You know, like one of those, like the fake grass slopes. Like, you know, something like that's in the bonus package.
You know what you don't see much anymore?
Mini golf?
No, I think you still see mini golf. Like I played mini golf in Whistler just this summer.
Yep.
Water parks.
Yeah.
Remember when like every ski resort had a water park?
Yeah.
Is that lack of interest in water parks, or is that a liability issue?
I don't know. I think that those take a lot of
energy.
Run. Yeah.
Like I think the energy costs of pumping all that water.
Yeah.
I also think there's significant liability from like health and like safety.
Yeah, I had a friend that worked at a water park, and his stories were not the cleanest.
Yeah, from like water quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think water quality can be like really bad at those places.
I don't know.
I am only bringing this up because sometimes our audience contains an expert in one of these fields, and I'm really hoping that we have a water park expert somewhere out there in the YouTube verse.
See what they say.
Yeah. Why aren't there more water parks? I used to love water parks when I was a kid. Anyways, that's it. Topic number 2 is a bit of a bummer. So I feel like the last time that I was in a top 5, we were talking about these 2 skiers in a positive light.
Yep.
Not that I'm really talking about them in a negative way, but this isn't like a feel-good story. Nina O'Brien and Ava Sunshine are both out for the upcoming season. So if you remember, both of those skiers performed exceptionally well in the Australian-New Zealand Cup. Unfortunately, last week, Nina re-fractured her leg that was originally injured in the 2022 Olympics. If you remember that crash, it was not fun to watch. And then also last week, Ava announced that she had torn her ACL. So both of those injuries are going to result in those skiers being out all season. And all I can do is wish them a speedy, positive recovery.
You know, 8 to 10 months from now, we're going to be having a discussion about these 2 athletes and their resiliency and their ability to bounce back after catastrophic injuries and compete once again at the highest level.
100%. In fact, when that happens, because we brought it up right now, I'm probably going to get some significant deja vu.
That'll be awesome.
Totally. But yeah, and I feel like, you know, sometimes in these situations for a developing high-level athlete, the mental game can be harder than the physical recovery.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to kind of believe in yourself and, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot of the time it's hard to not feel like this was your chance.
Right.
And like it's important to remember that there are always different paths and you'll have other chances.
Well, especially if your arc is on the upswing like these 2 athletes were.
Yeah, it can feel like just somebody took the wind right out of your sails.
Yeah.
So best of luck to both of those talented skiers. And then these last 2 topics are kind of interesting. I had to really like dig into my knowledge and understanding of land use issues.
Yeah, they're a little thick.
Yeah. What's up with that? So anyways, forgive me in advance if I don't fully understand any of this stuff. I think this third topic is a little easier to understand than the fourth topic. So Wasatch Peaks Resort, which we have talked about numerous times here at Top 5 Fridays, they are at risk of closing before ever opening.
Yeah, they're basically
They're in limbo.
in limbo, very much a holding pattern.
Yeah. So this has been billed as these are quotes, an ultra exclusive resort that is for the 1% of the 1%.
And like they said that, but then they also included their initiation fee of $500,000, which I don't think that's enough. Like 1% of 1%, like there's a lot of people that have $500,000 lying around.
Are there?
I think so.
For
I think
initiation fees into your ski area?
I just feel like there's a lot of people with a lot of money. I think they gotta.
I mean, you also got to
another
think
zero.
that like 1% of 1% is still a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
So you might be agreeing with yourself.
It sounded low to me when they gave that 1%.
You think they should bump that up to a clean $1 million?
No, I think just another zero. So $5 million.
$5 million.
Well, you're gonna get stuff with
I
it.
guess no, ultra exclusive.
Yeah.
I don't want any of those $500,000 riffraff
I know.
running around my ski
Totally.
resort.
Totally.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And maybe that would help them kind of grease the wheels
What's the
a
new
little
like
bit more.
Lamborghini SUV that some people are driving around Stowe?
Not the Urus, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Thing's sweet.
But I'm picturing somebody being like,
Right.
"You took your Lamborghini here? Get out of here."
Right. Like
That's
the
not-
Lamborghini is only half the
That's
initiation
not even
fee.
nearly nice enough to
Yeah.
belong at this resort. Like if you don't fly in your own personal helicopter,
Right.
you don't belong here.
That's who they should
That's
be going
who.
after.
That's what.
Yeah.
We're way off track, aren't we?
I don't know. It's fun.
Okay, so anyways, this has been billed as an ultra-exclusive resort where you can only fly in with your helicopter and you cannot drive your Lamborghini SUV, which we just added here. This required the rezoning, and this is where it gets thick, and if you want to read more into this, then go follow the links and read it, because we're not going to get into the I don't know. I'm not going to get lost in all this data. But anyways, it required the rezoning of 12,700 acres that has since been met with resistance and legal battles, basically from the residents of Morgan County. Now, this week, a judge ruled in favor of Morgan County residents on whether or not this land can be rezoned to Resort Special District rather than multi-use and or forestry, which were previously how this land was zoned.
Right. And if they're either of those two, then they can't build a resort.
They cannot
need
build
it.
like this style resort.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So basically where this leaves the situation is the residents now need 1,000 signatures to officially put the issue on the ballot where it can then be voted on. In the meantime, all the development must stop.
Between the gondola and this thing, these Utah voters are really,
Yeah.
they're like, they got a lot in their hands. I think it's pretty cool
Yeah.
that they get to vote on these things.
Just changing the face of the
Yeah.
state.
Yep.
There could be gondolas all over the place and ultra-exclusive resorts everywhere,
Yeah.
or none of those things. The ball is in your court.
Yep.
It's very exciting.
And like ultimately, if this place has that much money, like I feel like they're just gonna
They're going to push it
like
through.
the legal system's just gonna fold.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to, I don't know. I don't know the legal, can they buy a,
Can you pay for zoning? Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Right.
Yeah.
If it gets voted down, can they just
Appeal.
pay, appeal and pay
Yeah.
a bunch of fees or something?
Probably. Seems like that's the way it works these
I bet
days.
our water park expert is going to have some knowledge of this
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, dual threat.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, that'll be interesting to watch. I don't know that I'll ever be attending that resort either way.
Right.
So it doesn't have a huge effect on me. Probably doesn't have a huge effect on you either.
Unless you're in Utah.
And if it does,
you don't want them to build a resort.
I was going to say if it does have a big effect on you, let us know whether you think it should be $500,000 initiation fees or $5 million.
Yeah.
So on to topic number 4. Similar conversation here. The Colorado Sun has an interesting article on the liability for private landowners and conservation groups. So essentially what's going on here is a conservation group has purchased 300 acres of private land at the peak of Mount Democrat. This brings up a lawsuit that was started in 2008 and since settled in 2019, where basically somebody sued a private landowner because they got injured on public use or public access trails on private land.
Yeah.
It's like, again, this is a little messy. And it has basically created a big challenge for these landowners. So many have since restricted access to hiking trails, mountain bike trails, other public access points. Some people have gotten creative with waivers or like literal QR codes at trailheads and like boundaries of their property. Like if you, like to continue forward onto this land, you must go to this QR code and sign this liability waiver, which like you could just not do and be like, I didn't see it.
Right. But then if you got hurt, you couldn't sue them.
I think you could make an argument that you didn't see it.
Right.
Like I think it's like that's where the gray area is and that's where the challenge is. So landowners are hoping to reform the Colorado Recreational Use Statute in a way that would protect private landowners from liability, thus allowing them to more easily open up access to the public. This isn't necessarily ski-specific news, but there are ski connotations.
Sure. And like biking too. We run into that
Biking,
a lot
hiking,
here.
Rock climbing.
Yeah, Burke, you know, they deal with private landowners and trails going through the property all the time. They kind of close and open and close and open. And even like Traps has QR codes for their trail. So if you want to use even their walking trails, you're supposed to scan in.
Yeah. So not just an issue in Colorado, but certainly one that has come to the forefront in Colorado. And that's it. I think we did all right with those land use topics.
That's tough.
That was tough. Yeah. On to our edits of the week, which is easy.
More fun.
Yeah. So this is we got five edits this week. Not surprising because we're in that trailer teaser season. So first up, we have Black Crow's teaser for the Draconians. Looked pretty good. Love to see some stuff coming out for Black Crows.
I'm continuously impressed with what they do on like tech bindings.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff personally. I like watching it. I don't. Yeah.
That's all I can think of. Like
it
gets in my brain.
Totally.
That they're on just these crazy technical zones with.
I mean, even personally, like there are people at Stowe that really get after it on tech bindings. Yeah. And I'm just like,
Right. I mean, it's great if you're confident with it, but it doesn't. I don't know.
Anyways, second edit of the week, we have Free in Your Body from Dylan Siggers. This is really exciting. We didn't see too much from Dylan Siggers over the past year, seemingly because he's been working hard on this. So that
looks great. Teaser has some great music to it.
Yep. And then I bet you've seen this because it's kind of been making some waves in the industry over the past week. We have Elise Sogstad and Jackie Passot, Here, Hold My Kid, which looks like an awesome movie. Yeah. Really excited to watch this one. Both are extremely talented skiers, and they both have like really fun personalities. So that'll be a good one. Yeah. And then fourth, we have Daycare, not to be confused with Here, Hold My Kid. Daycare by Will Wesson and Patrick Ring. This focuses more on urban skiing, street skiing, innovative stuff.
Stuff that shouldn't be skied upon. I feel like that's what they do the best. Is they're like, what shouldn't we ski on? And then they go ski on it.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I think that's like, you got to have that mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think outside the box. Yeah. How can I make this work?
Or like someone else looks at it and says, no way. And then they find a way.
In like I don't know. I was going to say in the little bit of street skiing that I've done, but I've done more than like most skiers. So by most people's standards, I've done a lot of street skiing. I always looked for shapes. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like there are things that I like skiing on the mountain. And every once in a while, you would see like a feature in an urban environment that would remind me of the shape of something on the mountain and would like trigger something in my head where I would be like, I can do this over that because I've done this over that on the mountain.
I just don't like the consequences of falling on the harsh metal and concrete.
That's why I stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Risk reward. But some people really like the reward.
Totally.
You can get some incredible shots, and it is personally extremely fulfilling because it's so challenging.
Yeah.
So, and then last edit of the week is the Magma 2 rough cut. Bob, you were thoroughly enjoying watching this.
This is worth a watch.
Yeah.
15 minutes or so.
Lots of crashes.
It's just a great insight into what goes into the process of getting the
finished
the
product.
clean one.
Yeah.
You know, this is all the dirty stuff.
Totally. A lot of
And
falls.
it's really, really interesting.
Yep. So definitely check that one out. And that's it for this week's Top 5 Fridays. So as I mentioned, keep your eyes peeled for more. You really don't have to keep your eyes peeled because we're going to put a lot of them out. But yeah, we'll be putting out some more ski test videos over this weekend. And then we'll have this 110 comparison Wednesday or Thursday next week, depending on how things go. And then, yeah, lots of other fun stuff happening behind the scenes that we'll tell you all about sooner than later.
Sweet.
And with all that said, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Bob, I hope you have a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.